Almost everyone has been there. You go shopping or open a shopping app with one clear idea in mind. You tell yourself you will only spend a little. Maybe you need one eye. Maybe you are just browsing. Maybe you have a budget in your head. And then somehow, you spend more than you planned. It happens so often that many people start thinking it is just normal. They assume they are bad with money, weak with discipline, or unable to control themselves. But the truth is usually more complicated than that. Spending more than planned is not just about a lack of self-control. It is often about habits, emotions, timing, environment, and the way your brain reacts to money decisions. In this video, we are going to break down why you always spend more than planned, what is really causing it, and how to stop it before it keeps hurting your finances. Let's get into it. 1. You start without a clear limit. One of the biggest reasons people overspend is that they begin with a vague plan instead of a real limit. They say things like, I will spend a little, I should be fine, or I will keep it reasonable. But those ideas are too loose. They leave too much room for impulse. When you do not set a clear amount before you spend, it becomes easy to keep going. A little extra here, a little extra there, and suddenly, the number is much higher than you expected. This is why vague spending plans usually fail. Your brain needs a boundary. If you do not decide the limit in advance, the decision gets made in the middle of the moment, and that is when emotion takes over. The fix is simple. Decide the exact amount before you shop. Whether it is groceries, clothes, or entertainment, know your number ahead of time and stick to it. 2. You shop while emotional. A lot of overspending has very little to do with the item itself. It has to do with how you feel in the moment. People often spend more when they are stressed, bored, lonely, frustrated, tired, or even excited. When you are emotional, your decision-making changes. You stop asking, do I really need this? And start asking, will this make me feel better right now? That shift is one of the main reasons people spend more than planned. Shopping can feel like a quick escape. It can feel rewarding, distracting, or comforting, but that feeling usually does not last. After the purchase, the original emotion is still there, and now you have less money too. The fix is to pause before spending. Ask yourself what you are really feeling. Sometimes the answer is not, I need this. Sometimes the answer is, I need a break. I need comfort. Or, I'm just having a bad day. 3. You underestimate small add-ons. Many people think overspending comes from big purchases only, but often, it is the small extras that push the total much higher than planned. You go in for one thing, and then you add another. Shipping, fees, accessories, upgrades, snacks, tips, and impulse items can all quietly increase the bill. At first, these add-ons do not feel important. A few dollars here or there seems harmless, but by the time you finish, your original plan is gone. This happens because small additions do not feel like real spending in the moment. But your bank account does not see them that way. It sees the full total. The fix is to look at the final price, not just the starting price. Before you buy, ask what the real total will be after every extra cost is added. That habit alone can save you a lot of money. 4. You are influenced by the environment. Your surroundings play a huge role in how much you spend. Stores are designed to make you buy more. Online platforms are built to keep you clicking. Social media makes spending look normal, exciting, and necessary. Advertisements are everywhere, and they constantly tell you that you need something new. When your environment is full of spending triggers, it becomes much harder to stick to your plan. You may think you are making a personal decision, but the environment has already been shaping your choices before you even notice it. Bright colors, limited time offers, only one left, and people also bought, are all designed to reduce resistance. The fix is to reduce exposure. Shop with a list. Avoid browsing when you are bored. Unsubscribe from promotional emails. Remove shopping apps that tempt you too often. Make it harder for impulse spending to happen. 5. You confuse wants with needs. Another reason people spend more than planned is that they talk themselves into believing they need things they actually only want. It is easy to justify a purchase in the moment. You tell yourself it is useful, practical, or necessary, when deep down it is really just desirable. That is not always a bad thing. Wanting things is normal, but when you mistake wants for needs, your budget starts to fall apart. This happens because the mind is very good at creating reasons to spend. It can turn convenience into necessity, and desire into logic. That is why the same item can feel impossible to live without for 5 minutes and completely unnecessary the next day. The fix is to slow down. Separate true needs from optional wants. Ask yourself, would my life really be worse without this? Or do I just like it right now? 6. You do not wait before buying. Instant buying is one of the biggest reasons people spend more than planned. When something catches your attention, you want it now. You do not want to sit with the feeling. You do not want to wait. You want the excitement immediately. The problem is that urgency kills good judgment. A lot of purchases feel far more important in the moment than they actually are. If you give yourself some time, the urge often fades. What felt urgent at first starts to look unnecessary later. That is why waiting is one of the most powerful money habits you can build. You do not need to say no forever. You just need to say, yet. A 24-hour pause can prevent a lot of unnecessary spending. 7. You do not track your spending closely. When people overspend repeatedly, one common reason is that they are not paying close attention. They know they are spending money, but they are not watching the total. Without tracking, it is easy to lose sight of how much is actually leaving your account. A small purchase feels tiny in isolation, but when you do it over and over again, the total becomes much larger than expected. This is why so many people are shocked when they check their bank statement. They did not intend to overspend. It just happened little by little. The fix is to track what you spend, even if only for a short period. You do not need a complicated system. The goal is simply awareness. Once you see the pattern, you can start changing it. 8. You treat the budget like a suggestion. A lot of people create a budget and then treat it like a loose recommendation instead of a real plan. They know what they plan to spend, but when the moment comes, they ignore it. They tell themselves they will balance it later. That mindset is dangerous because it turns the budget into a formality instead of a tool. A budget only works if it changes behavior. If you can constantly go over it without consequence, then it is not really guiding your money. The fix is to make the budget feel real. Check it before you spend. Keep it visible. Use it as a decision-making tool. Just a number on paper. 9. You try to be perfect. Sometimes people overspend because they are trying to follow a perfect system. They set very strict rules, and when they break one, they feel like the whole thing is ruined. Then they say, I already messed up, so it does not matter anymore, and they spend even more. This is one of the most common money traps. One mistake does not ruin your entire financial life, but the all-or-nothing reaction can turn a small mistake into a bigger one. The better approach is to stay calm when you go over budget. Learn from it. Adjust the plan. Keep going. Progress is built through consistency, perfection. 10. How to stop spending more than planned. The solution is not to become perfect overnight. The solution is to build better habits around spending. Start by setting a clear limit before you buy anything. Pause before emotional purchases. Wait before buying non-essentials. Track your money. Reduce temptations. Separate wants from needs. And most importantly, be honest with yourself about why you are spending. The more aware you become, the less power impulsive spending has over you. You do not need more guilt. You need better systems. Spending more than planned is something many people struggle with, but it is not random. It usually happens for clear reasons: vague limits, emotions, add-ons, environment, impulse, and lack of awareness. The good news is that all of these can be improved. You do not need to stop spending entirely. You just need to spend more intentionally. The goal is not to live with fear or restriction. The goal is to make your money decisions clearer, calmer, and smarter. Small changes can make a big difference over time. If you keep spending more than planned, do not assume you are hopeless with money. Look at the pattern, understand the trigger, then fix the habit. That is how you start taking control of your money one decision at a time.